maybe we'll get some normality now.
Ooh. Well, Nomati, we're seeing once again Coastline get immediately banned off the board, which is quite interesting. No one wants to take that aggressive frag fest of a map. Oregon, okay, fair enough. I think I'm okay with that. That's a nice, safe map for Playday 1. You know, very balanced. I think everyone knows. It's like the Clubhouse 2.0. Everyone knows how to play it. Everyone knows how to defend it. It's a nice, even Stevens place to take this first encounter. So, yeah, let's get stuck in, I suppose, Novi.
And we were talking about the shuffle that's gone on with, like Maria, like you said, leading her own team and it gets to put it together and really take charge. But also Gypsy Queens, these sort of newer players coming into it. Oregon is that compared to Bank, which was, I was very surprised at because that's very out of left field. This is normal territory. This is what we always say. This is a bread and butter map. This is one that every single comp player in the entire world should understand how Oregon is played, the same as Clubhouse. And so I expect we should see both teams very quickly, even if they're very new rosters and they've made a few changes. It should be very simple to align everybody on the same page and just really execute those strategies. So it should be really, really good. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to make. I don't think we're going to make any predictions this week because we really have no idea what all these teams are bringing. But this has the setup to be a real just barn burner.
Barn burners indeed, as you say. Yeah, I think realistically, way too early to make predictions that would be too grounded right now. Already off the bat, though, FRENEMY starting on the defense are going to choose to get rid of the Flores. So it's now up to Gypsy Queens whether they want to go 6 rounds with Thatcher on the board or not. Drum roll, please, Novi. There we go. They decided that they don't want to take that Thatcher. So that could have been quite nice. That could have been quite spicy. But no, there we go. Both of these massive utility burners, utility clears off the board immediately. Again, these defensive bans and probably very by the book, I would expect. Maybe a bit of, there we go, classic mirror ban. Okay, Gypsy Queen are going very, very classic with it. Potentially, maybe we would see the Kaid get taken off the board, but FRENEMY, perhaps they want to keep that in their own pocket because it's going to be very difficult for Gypsy Queens to try and get rid of that if it's left on. But no, they're going to choose to get rid of it themselves. So they want to keep it nice and safe for when they switch over to their attack. They're confident for this defense, Novi. They're going into this with the confidence of goddesses.
And that's what we'd like to see. You said that, last game, that's what Delta Project kind of felt the vibe that they were missing.
Yeah.
Was that confidence. And what a way, I mean, making that confidence known right from the get-go before you even get into the game.
That's exactly it. And again, I think there are some absolute stacks in this tournament and they should be confident. And if you see a stack that should be confident and they're not confident, it can be a little bit, doesn't rustle my jimmies. It just makes my chest a little bit hurty. Going to see a 6-pick off the Thunderbird, however, from Sunja. She's going to stick to that Valkyrie. So we're going to keep with the Intel utility over the healing utility. Nice and old school by the book. The Maverick switching to the Gridlock, however. Perhaps they've read the room a little bit there. Perhaps they've been like, okay, let's look at this and work out where we want to go. But again, I think that's a little bit risky biscuits for me. Yes, you can go vertically and shoot out those mute jammers that might be preventing the denial, but perhaps we'll see a lot of aggression on a roam. You've got Deb there on a Jaeger. Perhaps she'll be lurking around meeting room, ready to take any unsuspecting player that's trying to shoot things out from classroom down a peg. So we'll see how this goes. So far, it seems very by the book. Love the Goyo shields. Going to see these classic shield placements most likely. Rooney Gates as well. Absolutely love that. Love the fact that they're bringing that to the table as well. This is going to be a relatively standard setup, but I think there's a lot of nice safety within that, especially when it is Playday 1. It's your opening map of this tournament. Maybe you don't want to show your hand too much. You want to be just a little bit by the book, a little bit classic with it.
Yeah, this defensive lineup is one of the ones where I look at it and go, I can't poke any holes in this. This brings pretty much everything you want to the table in some respects. You've got the information, you've got the utility denial in both Jaeger and Aruni. Aruni is just a fantastic operator right now, like insane. Mute as well, the anti-information. You could possibly swap that out for a smoke, but still it helps regardless. It depends what you want to do. Yesterday, last map, we saw plant denial. This is more information denial and playing for picks around the map, which I think for Oregon is very suitable. I would have liked to see maybe a couple Valkyrie cams thrown out on the south side to enable the run out as an option for either the Jaeger or the Valkyrie later on. But I'm interested to see how FRENEMY decide to use the Valkyrie, because to be honest, getting it through the ban phase is, I could definitely see it going in place of a Kaid or something like that. It's super strong operator.
Absolutely. What's also super strong actually is the long line of sight that they have into Attic on the defense. But so far, what's actually even stronger is this attack. They've already got the wall open. We're going to see Yellow fall down as the opening pick of this round. Half the time has gone, but you know, all of this room, all of these lines of sight to play with now. A lot of the defenders downstairs. When this execute might come through soon.
There's the Valkyrie going down. That's the Hibana trading it back. So that's level playing field. Stelina, you saw, had that lineup, and I think it was the debris from the explosion. Actually, like from our perspective, very, very clear. It was like, just shoot the defender. But I think because of the particle effects, it makes it difficult to see exactly, and the aim is really, really difficult. But again, we're seeing this back and forth, back and forth. FRENEMY managed to equalize using the Jaeger who is roaming about. But Jess is on the back of sight. He's very, very low HP. That's another trade, a 1-for-1. This is going right down to the wire with less than 40 seconds remaining.
Absolutely, and you know, we've seen some really nice trades, some really nice flanks come through already, but it's interesting to see that there's so many lines of sight been open, and there we go, that line of sight being used perfectly by Jess, taking down Pink Angel. It's all left down now to Stelina, who's in a 1v2. Jess, however, on the tiniest bit of health to fall over a tickle, and there we go, defenders winning round number 1. FRENEMY, first round in their pocket. A little bit, it's interesting because again, there was so many lines of sight in that defensive setup, but then we did see a significant presence around that white stairs and even underneath on the ground floor, which is quite interesting. I would like to see maybe next time a bit more aggression in that attic area, you know, absolutely put the pressure on that ace that's trying to get in through bedroom and get those walls open. As much pressure as possible. If you've got that line of sight, exploit it. 100% exploit it.
Yeah, there's no reason. As soon as you do that, it divides the entire top floor into two halves, and that just causes problems. If one defender wants to rotate round, they have to go all the way under. Which then, if you have anyone pushing up white stairs, suddenly you can be there on the flank and just ready and waiting. FRENEMY, fortunately for them, managed to get the kill. It just finally onto, I think it was Stelenia. It was Foxtail who got the kill, and interesting enough, because Foxtail, she was on the Aruni, the P10 Roni, fantastic weapon, but it's basically a pea shooter at the body. And there's part of me where it was like, didn't find the headshot on the first angle, and then Jess went down. I was like, I could see the ace 180ing here and just snapping a headshot, and so maybe FRENEMY cutting it a little too close down to the wire. And just not relying too much. I would like to see them rely a little bit less on the aim. They did some really proactive plays. Deb, especially on the Jaeger, was phenomenal in finding those picks. I want to see more of that, more calculated aggression, rather than having to take gunfights because you're being pressured by the attackers.
Yeah, 100%. This is interesting, actually. So it's a nice little bit of a basement defense, but they're choosing to clear from the southwest. Presumably, maybe we'll see a little bit of a freezer take here. I reckon that's what we're going to see. It's quite interesting because, again, a lot of this defensive utility is set up around that classic push from kind of blue pillars. So I don't know if GYPSY Queens have kind of drawn that out and been like, yeah, we're just going to attack Freezer because then we're not going to have to deal with all of that utility. We'll take them maybe a little bit off surprise. Foxtail's certainly a little bit surprised there, getting to a little bit of an early engagement with Yellow there, both of them losing a tiny bit of health. Again, potentially a lot of time to be wasted here with this room game, but there we go. Dev is going to take down Game Sheila.
That was one of those moments where I watch that, I see what's about to happen, and I just hear internal screaming, just internally going, drone, please get someone to drone. No, please don't pick. No, it's just like internally, a little Novocaine inside my head is just screaming, like, please drone. And that's one of those cases where maybe wanting to go really quickly, going, surely no one's in kitchen, you know, let's just tip through these boxes and rushing things. So we've been on a lot of the teams for taking too much time. Maybe that was a case of them going a little too quickly, skipping a couple of steps, and immediately Deb just punishes them for that, because if Deb's position is read by a drone, suddenly that evens the gunfight up way more.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're going to start seeing this Athena utility, as predicted, start to make its way down Freezer. Long line of sight with the shield is what we like to see. But again, that's still a little bit of utility that the attack have to deal with. Certainly is a path of least resistance right now, but they're still going to have to keep that utility in pocket, keep those players on board. Well, as I say, players on board, more players are going to fall. Jess taking down Stelina. It's a 2v5 Novi, and there's very little control here from the attack. They have borderline like 10% map control, if that. They have to go for a direct approach, which again, it opens them up to these flanks. Yellow has to watch the 6 now for Pink, and there we go. Foxtail is going to take down Yellow. Pink absolutely pinched from all sides. Everyone knows where she is, but can she make this work? One smoke in pocket, but again, I don't think that's going to do her much help right now, unless she tries to use it as a little bit of a bait here. Biding her time, very patiently waiting, seeing if anyone's going to bite, waiting patiently like a cobra in the grass. I don't think anyone's going to go for it. They're just going to hold these angles and be defensive, be passive with it. Completely stand that. Completely stand that. Why? Everyone save their KD. Go for it.
I respect it. I respect it from both sides, because I respect Pink there goes, I can play for this, you know, 1-on-5 play. This is actually something I've discussed with quite a few people. In that situation when it's a 1-on-5, do you go for it? Do you use the extra time to talk to your team? I think in this situation, yeah, you can go for the play and there's like a 0.001% chance that it works out. But currently, Gypsy Queen do not look like they're on the same page. Something isn't aligning right. They're not 100% coordinated. And I think that extra 25 seconds of just getting everyone going, look, this isn't working. What do we need to do? Gives the IGL a little bit of extra time to really align the team. And I think this is one of the cases where it makes a lot of sense, and I respect them a lot. And also, just for the psychological factor, not giving them that last kill. You know, it's such a simple thing, but if you died right then, that's a flawless round. And it just sucks. It's crushing when that happens. So I think wise from the Gypsy Queens, but also FRENEMY look really, really good. The discipline is on point. Yeah,
that's 100% it, the discipline. And again, it's interesting because, you know, Gypsy Queens, they went for a different approach. They didn't go for that classic kind of you know, take a bit of control of the map and maybe go for like a blue pillars, or even going directly blue pillars like a lot of people do. It was quite interesting. They decided to go for something a bit unusual. They decided to go for this Western take and try and get Freezer control, but they just got ultimately shut down very early by the roam game, and then it kind of just unraveled from there. I'm gonna say it because of course I'm gonna say it, Novi. Really dislike this site choice. Would rather them go to meeting and kitchen. Yeah, dining and kitchen, very difficult to defend. You're handing over a lot of valuable map control pretty much instantaneously, especially from that Western side. And this is the irony here, because, you know, Gypsy Queens, I think the issue last time was that they chose to go for that Western take, but the Western take would benefit them this time. You immediately get that small tower control uncontested. Then all you have to do is get showers control and get that wall open. And again, play into the fact that you've got some utility to maybe cover people as they go for that plan. And there we go, Deb already with a 2k straight off the bat. Within the first minute, Novi. Within the first minute, nice clean 2k onto these entry fraggers for the side of Gypsy Queens. It's all left down to the support now. They have to mind their P's and Q's. Are they going to try and take this upstairs control, or will they go just small tower, to be honest? Surely the small tower take is the best option right now. You know, you've got all of this hard breach utility. All you have to do is get that wall open, try and get a few kills if people get bolshy with it. Realistically, we know FRENEMY are going to play this very, very safe. They're not going to try and, you know, attack you too much if you decide to open that breach. They're not going to be swinging out willy-nilly. It's an interesting one.
It's tough situation to be in. Really, really tough, especially, you know, ooh, losing that sledge. Foxtail, she's just taking everything from the Gypsy Queens. FRENEMY's like, no, I am the queen. I'm the one in control. Foxtail doing the fragging, 4-0. Spectacular performance. FRENEMY certainly stamping their foot down. And Gypsy Queens left in another situation where this could be pretty, or a pseudo flawless round. You know, it's a minute left. They're probably going to have an idea of where Diana is now. Yellow, this is going to be interesting. If she can somehow win this one out with the frag grenade in the corner, it's not going to connect. Just dodging around, very, very close. Denies a flawless round, and this is an opportunity with the first. Looks for the second. That was fantastic by Yellow. Looking for a third. This is potential. Yellow Ping's coming out. It's going to swing the corner, but the lineup is so difficult. You don't know if Deb's going to be crouching, standing, swinging. Takes the wrong angle, and Deb punishes Iana for it. And that was a good, valiant effort by Gypsy Queens.
Yeah, that was an admirable attempt at the end to try and make the most of a bad situation. Again, I just think these attacks are coming from very unusual directions, to be honest. I think that there needs to be a more concrete approach here for the side of Gypsy Queens. They need to maybe go a bit more classical with it, because I don't think these, I wouldn't say off-brand, but you know, these alternative approaches are benefiting them at all. I think they need to play it a bit more by the book here. Like that they're bringing the Jackal out here also. Again, more intel utility on the board. I think they just want to work out where these players are and maybe try and go for some cleaner engagements here, because again, they're getting shut down very, very smoothly by the side of FRENEMY.
And what more can you really say at this point for Gypsy Queens? Like, this is, we talked about the mental game being such an important factor. You're 3-0 down. Players are really just struggling to get their shots around like that. Yellow can kind of sort of inspire a little bit of momentum. Really, what do you do at this point? I think for the IGL right now is she's got to be saying, look, all right, yeah, we're 3-0 down, but let's take it one round at a time. It doesn't change the fact that you still need to win this round. It doesn't, you know, it makes no difference. Just break it down, compartmentalize it. Don't think of the fact that you're 3 rounds down. Think of it, well, we just need to win the next 3 rounds, and that involves winning the round in front of us. So let's do that. And taking it step by step and clawing your way back. There was flashes of brilliance from Gypsy Queens. It just looked like it was only flashing when they were really, really pressured.
Again, we have gone back upstairs to kids and dorms. It's interesting because again, they seem to be maybe wondering that, you know, there's not an immediate commitment here to what kind of approach they want to make. It seems like they are going a bit more standard. No, thank goodness. They're gonna put a claymore down. That's nice and safe. Again, maybe they're realizing, okay, we want to try and not be 6-0'd in this attack right now, so we are going to play it a little bit more by the book and safe. And oh, there we go. But you can't play by the book and safe when Foxtail is going to get super aggressive like that. They'll pick through the window. Now in a prone position in Classroom. Can anyone use a bit of drone utility here and try and find this exact positioning? And perhaps we'll see Gainchilia decide to get aggressive themselves. Nope, they're just going to ignore the player downstairs. That's fine too. I respect it to an extent. I'm going to see them try and work their way into this bedroom site now, again, assuming that this wall is going to be nice and open. Is that attic peak still there? I think it is actually, Novi, isn't it? Ooh.
Ooh, another trade. Okay. I think Gypsy Queens will just take that at this point, take that right to the bank. Just going down, big fragger on the board. Currently, FRENEMY might be 3-0, but 2 of their players haven't got a kill yet. Not for lack of trying. That's because everyone else is getting the kills and they don't have the opportunity yet. But you've lost a big player. Jess is out for the count. And that gives maybe an opportunity for the Gypsy Queens to try and work their way back into this round. But that's going to kind of put a pin in it. Foxtail from underneath with a Nitro Cell, the defuse down as well. I don't quite know that if FRENEMY knows that. That's a nice trade back onto Deb. And Deb has been just tearing them a new one. So now Gypsy Queens has another opportunity. About 45 seconds remaining. But that might have just put a shutdown to that dream.
Absolutely. Again, it's all left down to Ginchella now, but this is the moment. Do you go for those picks or do you take the tactical timeout? Do you just hold the angle? Don't know if a tactical timeout's being had right now. Perhaps Gain pulling back. There we go. There's the tactical timeout. I mean, you know, realistically, it's gonna be a little bit of a dangerous situation for Gypsy Queens if they do get 6-0'd in this attack. Oh, beautiful shot there, taking down Marie. But are we gonna see Thunder get a bit aggro? No. Oh my gosh, Ginchella is actually gonna try and stick this plan. A little bit risky biscuits. Can Sunja shut her down? No, not yet. They don't know where she is. There we go. Oh, that's a little bit of naughtiness at the end. A nice little melee kill to finish off that round, but I respect that, Novi. I fully respect that. I'm just going to go for the plant. It's all I can do. Let's have an atta while I go for this. Again, Gypsy Queens really need to get around on the board, because my main concern here is, again, if they get 6-0'd on this defense and then they switch over to their own defense, I'm not sure what they can bring that's going to be too razzle-dazzly when I am expecting FRENEMY on their attack to play it super by the book. Look at their defensive setups. Look at the way they're structuring everything. They know the classics here. They seem so confident in that as well. I really think FRENEMY are going to play this by the book on their attack, and if that happens, this could be a 7-0.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I mean, for Gypsy Queens, that sucks, but for FRENEMY, that is a statement, you know, to be made. Coming out the gate, completely swinging, goes 7-0. I mean, what a genuinely, what a better way to start the league, really. You know? It's just a good statement to be made. And for the other teams that we've already seen, Delta Project, who look maybe a little bit mortal, and then also, of course, Sparkle team as well, looked fantastic. My eyes are almost going forwards to the next engagement where we might see those two teams take on FRENEMY and see who comes out on top. It's going to be a really, really interesting matchup. But Gypsy Queens isn't out of the count yet. It's just leaving a lot more to be desired right now. We need to see more from this team. And something needs to change. They need to switch something up, because otherwise, like you said, we could be seeing a 7-0.
Yeah, I think that's my main concern right now for Gypsy Queens, because again, they've been too, I don't know if I could call it creative. I would say probably just a little bit more unstructured. Maybe, you know, again, the classics are classics for a reason. If you go a bit more typical with it, you go a bit more standard, at least you know, like, realistically, okay, we know what we're coming up against. We know how to do this. It's A, B, C, D, E. There we are, jobs are good. And I know it can be potentially boring for players, but if it works, it works. And these are classics and standard approaches for a reason. Going to be interesting, certainly going to be interesting. Again, maybe if they don't want to play it as standard, they could just go for the old razzle-dazzle, go for some very, very aggressive attacking strategy, maybe just go completely direct, go a little bit more creative with it, a lot of disgusting utility, maybe Yings, maybe we need to see, you know, Yings and Amarus. You know what, at this point, try anything, to be honest. You do not want to get 7-0'd. That is going to set the momentum for, you know, the first few play days a little bit rocky.
Now, Gypsy Queens, they've gone, I mean, it sounds like a small victory, but it is a small victory. I was about to say, it's been a while since, you know, usually they're getting first blood quite early on. This time they survived a lot longer, but at least they managed to tag Jess down quite low. Pink Angel is actually getting aggressive upon through green. Deb is the one to pick up the kill. Swats to the pistol, but Yellow manages to capitalize on it. Gets traded back by Foxtail, and every time Gypsy Queen seems to strike back, FRENEMY is right there with an uppercut, just looking for that knockout. And again, with a minute remaining, it is a huge uphill battle for the Gypsy Queens. And it's going to get even worse.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. Ah, okay.
Oh!
Yikes. You hate to see it.
The timing! Goodness gracious me, Novi. Goodness gracious. But that's another point too. We just saw then. They were so split up from each other. It's difficult, you know. If people are getting these picks on you, it's again, you know, little things like the refrag. It's so important. Reacting immediately to your teammate falling, getting that dub in return. Okay, you take one of us, but we'll take one right back. again, at this point, it could just be that Gypsy Queens are really starting to feel the pressure now. They're really starting to feel that pressure. They themselves, again, they don't want to get 7-0'd, so maybe that's their main concern right now. We're going to see a little bit of a mix-up here. We're going to see the Nook. Ooh, the Monty Novi.
Ooh.
The Monty. They've had enough, haven't they? They've had enough at this point. They're like, no, we're not going 6-0 on our attack. We're getting at least one in the bag. We're taking that Monty. We're going to shuffle into sight. This is what I mean. All they have to do here, they attack from the west. Basically, you're given small tower control for free. You apply pressure to showers, maybe get a bit of showers control, open that wall up into dining, send in the Monty, plant behind the Monty, or even get the Monty themselves to plant. Because 9 times out of 10, those defenders, they're not going to stick around in A. If you take showers control, there's no one in showers, there's no one in A. They're all in B or bottom of white. And they cannot do anything about that plant. They have to throw maybe C4, but again, the angle is such a squiffy one at times. Very, very difficult to deal with. One thing I will say, Novi, as well, Sunja has gone onto the cap can for this final defensive round, and that's going to be an interesting one because, again, it would be very unfortunate to see that Monty get taken out by something like that. You know, 2 cap cans and it would be over.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's almost kind of luck of the draw managing to get that as sort of direct counter, but the early aggression from FRENEMY, no, I mean, they're certainly not friends at all, definitely enemies. I just remove the FR from the name right now because Gypsy Queens, there is no love between these sides at all. So at the moment, FRENEMY, what a fantastic opener by Foxtail on the Bandit as well, just going aggressive. Pink Angel trying to work their way straight into the site. The Montang is lifting open. The Capcan's not even looking. The knife kill, the plant as well. This is great by Gypsy Queens. What on earth is happening?
Oh, I respect it. Yes, plant down. There we go. It's our post-plant situation, but it's all left down. No, they lost it. They lost it. Pink Angel, she gets 1. Can she get 3 more? She gets 1. No, she can't get the 2 remaining ones. That was such a good attempt. Oh my goodness. If the positioning would have been slightly better there, that would have been much better. They could have got an attacking round on the board. That is so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate, Novi. You hate to see it. You really do. That is just so... I genuinely, I really wanted them to win that then. I really wanted them. That would have been glorious. But no, they, again, unfortunately, just for positioning, slightly squiffy, slightly off, getting caught off guard by Gypsy Queens, who just reacted... FRENEMY, rather, who just reacted almost instantaneously. And this is what I'm talking about now, okay, Novi? This is what I'm talking about. FRENEMY. They've played this very by the book. This attacking lineup, looking at it as well, it's nothing outside of the box. Don't like the gridlock, but that's just me being not really liking gridlock as an operator. But again, it's very safe, very by the book. And again, I'm expecting this approach to be by the book. They're gonna get map control if they need it. They're going to get pressure, they're going to get these walls open, they're going to use that utility, get the plant down, go for the execute, etc, etc. It's just going to be very by the book, and this is what I'm worried about. I want to see... Maybe this is a time where Gypsy Queens need to get bolshy themselves. Maybe they need to be like, hang on a second, okay, we're currently on 6-0. We have to win 6 rounds in a row, but... sometimes you just have to believe. You have to believe in the heart of the cards, Novi. Okay? You have to believe in the heart of the cards. You have to know you're pulling that blue eyes out the top of your deck, okay? I believe Gypsy Queens. I'm gonna... yeah, I think if they go... This is a time where maybe you go for something a little bit bolshy. You go for the spawn peak. You go for the aggressive roam. We see yellow downstairs there on the Jaeger. Hopefully, she can absolutely... put that operator to use, put in the work, catch people a little bit off guard. We're also seeing a Western take again. Why everyone's obsessed with this at the moment, it feels. But again, it could just be to clear this Roma out, to be honest. Maybe a more direct approach would favor them.
Oh, Foxtail should have had that all day. Yellow was droned out. This is exactly what Gypsy Queen lacked on their attack. FRENEMY just did right back at them, but Yellow was too quick on the draw. Foxtail felt like she had that in the bag and just got completely destroyed. Now the Jaeger's in a difficult position because losing that Ashe suddenly, how much resources do you want to commit to try and displace this Jaeger, or do you just ignore them? Like what do you do in this situation? It's kind of tricky. And you can see it's sort of posed a problem for the FRENEMY side, but Pink Angel somehow has been picked out to go down. Grenade going through. I don't think it's going to connect, but Yellow Aura finds Deb as well. Gypsy Queens might be on track to get their first round.
Yeah, and it's interesting because FRENEMY have done the polar opposite of what I expected them to do. They haven't gone typical at all. They've gone for the roam clear. They've decided, okay, we're going to assume someone will be underneath and maybe we want to clear them out first. But there's been absolutely no setup or no attempt at a setup. Even you know, at most, maybe you have, you know, Sunja just lurking around the bedroom area waiting, or even attic, to be honest. But they've gone for a very unusual approach to this, I'd say. And again, 3v5, they don't really have the advantage here. Jess, however, is going to take down Yellow, so that's a significant gunner for the side of Gypsy Queens off the board, and it evens it out a little bit in their favor. So I'm just going to also get Yazia off the board as well. And, you know, it's a 3v3 now, Novi, and oh, classic placements. Can they get this in? Indeed, Stelina is going to be down, and there we go, a pick onto Gain as well. Jess, you're absolutely on fire right now.
Just phenomenal. The frag grenade into the, just peeking through the hatch, finding that headshot angle. Nicely done. But there's that Thunderbird coming into handy right there. Stelina takes down Jess, and despite, you know, Pink Angel being downed, can go and get a little more HP. Sunja is going to have to be rezzed. With 15 seconds, Gypsy Queens are on track potentially to get their first round win. FRENEMY really has to aggress quickly. The lineup is just not there for them. They're spraying through the wall, but Maria can't find anything. Gypsy Queens are going to deny them. Or maybe not. I was about to say maybe they'll deny this. No, but no! Maria left the diffuser outside! What just happened?
You have to pick it up now. This is the awkward thing. You forget... It's a tunnel vision thing. You forget that the diffuser can't be picked up anymore. You forget it just isn't automatically to slide into your pocket. You have to manually pick it up now, jump through that window, get the plant down. That's so unfortunate. Really unfortunate, because that could have been a very nice clutch there. But no, Gypsy Queens hanging on by the skin of their teeth, Novi. The absolute skin of their teeth. Again, though, a very unusual approach there by FRENEMY. Not one I expected them to take at all. Very outside of the box. Maybe, again, just a bit more by the book, a bit more classic. People are being a little bit too razzle-dazzly this evening. Well, not even razzle-dazzly, isn't it? There's not a lot of dazzle. There's certainly the razzle, but not the dazzle. You know what I mean? Like, people are being a little bit creative with it, but it's not in a way that's, like, completely blowing me away just yet. It feels more like they're going for these different things, but then they're playing it super safe, and it's not quite working out.
Oh, still map point for FRENEMY though, so we'll see if maybe they do a different approach. I feel like although they were still droning in, they might have disrespected a little bit, and Yellow really punished them. But seeing the hot potato again, we're seeing the clash come out. There's all the swapping of operators, and now Yellow's on a smoke instead. No Jaeger, and that could prove worrisome. Especially with Jess on that sledge, and we've seen how strong she is with those frag grenades.
Well, this is the interesting thing. So they've gone for a bit of an unusual setup, but they've got the Thunderbird and they've got that clash. Obviously, that utility is going to come in. It's going to heal. We've seen it happen previously. It's going to heal them up. It's going to maybe give them a bit of an overheal as well. That clash can be very difficult to deal with as well, especially if played around the kind of Pillars Blue area. But again, FRENEMY are choosing to go for a little bit of an outside-the-box take. Choosing themselves to push from the western side. Again, maybe another freezer take. Will they have more success than Gypsy Queens did though? Only time can tell.
A little more measured. And Foxtail now on the Jackal. This was on the Ashe the previous round and lost that gunfight to Yellow. So by looking for a little bit of redemption, can play more solo style independently. Be a nuisance. That hatch open, it gives some options, but also the sound cue goes over. Jess draws first blood onto Pink Angel. with that mute going down. Going to miss out on that Nitro cell. But now the Clash is starting to cause problems. So despite them going for the freezer take and ticking off all those boxes, suddenly they've seen a Clash, and that might cause a few issues in their game plan. It really depends on how they adapt right now.
And again, this is a little bit of a risky one from both sides, to be honest, because there needs to be aggression from the attack game. Well, there we go. Jess is going to get aggressive and get the pick onto Selena, but Gamepedia is going to trade that right back. Foxtail actually dropping down, has to deal with this Clash and this Thunderbird. Well, no, doesn't have to deal with the Thunderbird because Deb's going to deal with the Thunderbird. And Clash has backed into a corner, only to be taken down by Foxtail. It's all left down to Yellow. And there we go. FRENEMY. What a significant dub for that opening game.
I mean, it was very convincing. I've got to, shout out, commiserations as well, but definitely shout out to Gypsy Queens for sticking in there. It's not an easy thing, and they managed to get that one round. But honestly, FRENEMY just looked dominant. It was really, really good showing across the board. And honestly, I mean, we said there's going to be this first Playday is going to be very revealing. But this is really going to make the second Playday looking forward even more exciting, because suddenly we've got teams who are stomping, some teams who look mechanically really good, others maybe lacking some strategical elements. And when they clash, it is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. And, it's actually really nice because I was very, very excited to see FRENEMY play. Again, I know that Marie's been trying to build the team up for a while now. So to come in and have a 7-1 victory, that is significant. That is very, very significant. And, speaking of Marie, I think we are going to speak to my girl herself. So let's welcome Marie to the screen. Hello Marie. How are you doing?
Hello. Oh, I'm really good. I'm really happy.
I imagine you are. That is a significant dub for you guys. 7-1 on your opening Playday. That must feel amazing.
It was really close to 7-0, to be honest. But I didn't expect that outcome. I expected something like maybe a 7-4, 7-5, much closer match.
Yeah. And
yeah, it was really good.
So I bet the energy is certainly very high right now in the team Discord.
We're celebrating. So my whole team is here in the room. You can't see it because they're North Star, but they're all here.
Okay.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I wanted to ask, going into this, we were talking about, me and Grace were talking about all these different teams, the roster shuffles and everything. After such a statement, a 7-1 victory, and like you said, almost a 7-0. How do you feel about your chances for the rest of the season? It's very early days, but a statement like that, you all look really, really good.
Yeah. So in the qualifier, we played only against the top teams with 4-round wins, and then we felt like, okay, when we win 4 rounds against Sparkly or Delta, then I think we have good chances against the other teams. But we couldn't prove it until now. And yeah, I think it's the training and all, and it worked out.
Definitely. Well, certainly it worked out 7-1. Honestly, I can't get over that. That is just such an incredible score. You mentioned in the qualifiers playing against what you consider the top teams. Does that mean that going forward in this season, you've got the feelers out for those teams, and we're going to see some very heavy potential counter-stratting, potentially seeing you play into what these teams play like?
Yeah, we will watch and analyze other teams, and we will look to improve from our mistakes from this match. So
excellent.
Yeah.
No, I think that's absolutely perfect. Yeah, I think that's all you really can do. And again, I think I've got a little bit of a question here, really, where your defense was a bit more classic, as I would call it. It was very classic. It was like you know what you're doing, But when it came to the attack, it was a little bit more creative. You went for the kind of freezer take instead of the classic blue pillars. Was that because often when you see people do that, it does take a bit of confidence. Would you say that confidence came from the fact that you were so many rounds ahead?
No, I mean, like, we try to focus our attacks on to be more aggressive. When we look at our last scrims and how we played, when we play like the normal breach stuff like Attic, Blue, Master, and then compared to our more aggressive attacking, we thought that against this team it will work this way.
Oh, amazing. Well, it certainly did.
Yeah.
It certainly
really did.
I mean, it depends on the team, and we saw, okay, we have a 6-0, then okay, let's go for this specific attack or not for the normal attacks.
Right. Okay. And speaking of adapting to other teams, is there you've played some of what you called the top teams earlier on in the qualifiers? Is there any team you're really looking forward to playing that you really want to go up against, and with how much you've improved, you really want to bring it to them and beat them?
Yeah, Delta Project.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. I like it.
I like Delta Project. It's a really good and talent team, and we played against them on 2 different maps, on Oregon and Villa, and both of these matches was 4-7 for them. And I think when we after the time, since the last matches, we improved, and maybe we can beat them. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it now you've said that.
I'm really confident.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
I think that's really exciting. So I think everyone's going to be definitely watching out for that game, Delta Project versus FRENEMY. I think I certainly will, indeed. Again, you've come in with just such a great performance there that I am excited to see how the rest of the season goes for you. And yeah, well played, to be honest tonight. Really well played, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank
Go
you.
celebrate. Go celebrate.
Yeah, we will do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, love Marie so much.